You probably already know about the gladiators. Two men enter an arena, one does not leave. A crowd of 80,000 people watches and cheers. You know this, and your first instinct is to place yourself firmly on the outside of it. Those were different people, a different time, a fundamentally different kind of human. But before you do that, consider what you watched last weekend. The textbook version of Roman entertainment is easy to dismiss because it comes wrapped in enough historical distance to feel safe. Strip that distance away and the picture that emerges is far more recognizable than most people are comfortable admitting. The reality is considerably less comfortable than the textbook. Ancient Rome was a society that built entertainment infrastructure on a scale the modern world still struggles to match. The Colosseum alone held 80,000 spectators. The Circus Maximus, where chariot races were held 250,000. To put that in context, no single sports venue in the world today holds more than 150,000 people. Rome was not building these structures because it had nothing else to spend resources on. It was building them because the crowd demanded it, and the crowd always got what it demanded. These were not fringe events attended by the violent fringe of society. They were the centerpiece of Roman public life, attended by emperors, senators, philosophers, and ordinary citizens alike. Everyone went, everyone watched, and they kept coming back. And the spectacles they watched were engineered with a sophistication that reveals something important about what human attention actually runs on. Gladiatorial combat was not random violence. It was theater. Fighters were trained for years in dedicated schools. They developed specialties, signature moves, and genuine celebrity followings. Their images appeared on pottery, mosaics, and graffiti across the empire. Romans did not just watch gladiators fight. They had favorites. They debated outcomes. They argued about style and technique, the way modern fans argue about athletes. They collected memorabilia. They wrote the names of their favorites on walls. The gladiator Flama was offered his freedom 4 times and refused it each time. The arena was the only life that made sense to him. Sound familiar? But the arena was only one venue, and in some ways, not even the most revealing one. The Circus Maximus was where Rome truly lost its collective mind. Chariot racing divided the entire city into 4 color-coded factions: blue, green, red, white. These were not casual preferences. Romans bet their entire life savings on races. Marriages ended over faction loyalty. Riots broke out and killed hundreds. Politicians aligned themselves with factions to gain votes. A charioteer named Gaius Appuleius Diocles won 1,462 races over a 24-year career. He accumulated the equivalent of 15 billion modern dollars in prize money. He was the most celebrated athlete in Roman history. Almost nobody today has heard his name. But step away from the spectacle, and Roman daily life reveals something else entirely. Romans were not only defined by their appetite for spectacular violence, they were equally defined by their obsession with the ordinary pleasures of being alive. The Thermopolia were the fast food counters of ancient Rome, hot food served directly from stone counters onto the street. Quick, cheap, social, and everywhere. Pompeii alone had over 80 of them. Romans ate standing up, in a hurry, between appointments, gossiping with whoever happened to be beside them at the counter. The public baths were not primarily places people went to get clean. They were the social infrastructure of Roman life, where Romans spent hours every day not because they had to, but because they wanted to. Exercising, debating, gossiping, making business deals, playing dice, being massaged, having the kinds of conversations that only happen when people are genuinely relaxed and genuinely present with each other. The baths were the Roman equivalent of every social platform you use, every gym, and every coffee shop compressed into one warm physical space. And then there was gambling. Romans gambled on everything. Gladiator outcomes, chariot races, dice games, animal fights, the results of elections. Children gambled at school. The Roman writer Juvenal complained that his fellow citizens cared about only 2 things: bread and circuses. He meant it as a devastating criticism. But what he actually documented was something more interesting than moral decline. He documented a population that had worked out with remarkable efficiency what makes human beings feel genuinely alive. Food, belonging, spectacle, competition. The release of watching something genuinely unpredictable unfold in real time. These are not Roman appetites. They are human appetites. The Roman entertainment machine was not built to corrupt its audience. It was built to satisfy something that was already there. Something that had not been invented by Rome and has not been outgrown in the 2,000 years since. The next time you spend hours watching strangers compete, or place a bet on an outcome you cannot control, or eat something fast and satisfying between the demands of your day, understand that you are not doing something modern. You are doing something ancient, something so deeply embedded in what humans are that one of the most powerful civilizations in history built its entire social calendar around it. If this changed how you see your own entertainment choices, subscribe to Human Archives 2,000 years later, and the crowd still wants the same things.